Hi, my name is Bethany. What my life was like growing up is I was born and raised in Flint, Michigan, and I was surrounded with my mom. She was an addict. So when I left when I was 19, and that's when it began. That's when my disease ran rapid. It ran rapid, and I stayed out there using until I was probably in my late 30s, early 40s. My parents split up when I was about 3 years old, and so my mom, as I said, was an addict, but my dad, he remarried, and my stepmother, she's practiced Catholic religion, and so that's what my dad started doing. So there was a God introduced to my life when I was really young. Because of the choices that I made and the things that I did and the drugs that I did and all that sort of stuff, there was no light in my life. Everything was gray. Everything was gray. There was no light. And there were times where I tried to get clean. I tried it numerous times. I don't think that I ever came to where I really started paying attention to that until I was in my mid-40s. Something really drastic happened in my life. My husband, my third husband, had left, and that I was just curled up in a corner in a ball. And I got through that. I had used again. And then I started, after I was using the pain pills again, I started going to the methadone clinic. But then I started going to the methadone clinic, and I found myself going there every day. Every day I had to get there. And it was justified because they were telling me, oh, well, you're taking care of yourself. And I knew in my mind and in my heart, I wasn't. I remember one day I went home and I tried to pray. I tried to pray and I couldn't feel it. I couldn't feel it. It was like there was a piece of glass there. Because I knew, but it wasn't here. And I thought, oh my gosh, I have to do this. I have to get clean. I have to do this. And then I got the phone call about my mom, and she was gone. And I remember trying to cry, and I couldn't feel that either. It wasn't there. And then I was just like, this is not okay. This is not okay. And one of my biggest things was, how am I going to grieve over my mother if I'm not clean? I need to feel this. I need to feel this. I need to have my connection. I have to have that. And so I had made a little war room, and I had been in it, you know, on and off. No connection though, you know, and then that was it. I got into that war room and I sat down and I got on my knees, and that was it. And I put my hands in the air and I was like, okay, God, okay, okay. Okay, just please help me, just please. It was the first time I pleaded, I just don't want to do this anymore, because I knew that I just kept going back out and I kept relapsing and I kept doing it over and over, and I didn't want to do it anymore. It was at that moment that I asked Jesus to come into my life and begged for his forgiveness with my hands in the air. That was it. And I remember just being on my knees and just crying. And that was it. And I was just done. And I needed him, because it was all left up to him and me now. And that was it. That was all I had, was him and me. And I started faithfully coming to New Vintage. And then I got called to do volunteer work. I do public relations, which allows me to go to juvenile hall, and I get to speak to the kids at juvenile hall. I get to go to Petaluma High, and I speak to the children at Petaluma Junior High. I go to Our House, which is a rehab for young women, and I speak there, and I speak out at Azure Acres, and I get to go there and carry the message of recovery to all of them, introduce them to Narcotics Anonymous. And then I also just started school. I just want to let everybody know today that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior.